Hi everyone, my name is Phil Reynolds. I am a television and podcast producer from Bangor, Northern Ireland. I was asked by the lovely people at Cinemagic to do a quick video on my top 5 pieces of advice that I could give you guys. As a producer, I still think I'm learning, but I'm now able to be in a position where I know a lot more because I would be confident saying I took risks. I moved to London when I was 29. I was very, very nervous. I would go as far as saying scared, but I made it happen, and I made it happen because I was determined. I was working in Belfast and I felt like I was banging my head off a brick wall for opportunities and for chances, and I knew that if I wanted to make it as far as I wanted to make it, that I had to take a risk and move away, and it was the best thing I ever did. 3 months turned into 3 years, and that was by believing in myself, which is what you guys need to do. You need to believe in yourself and have self-belief and self-confidence. There's difference between confidence and arrogance, and if you don't believe in yourself, then you can't really expect anybody else to believe in you. You need to be very thick-skinned as well, because you're going to get 1,000 no's for every one yes that you get. There may be a time difference of 3 or 4 months between the last no and the next yes, so be prepared for that. But in the interim, make sure that you're thinking about other creative ideas as to what you could do to put yourself out there, that people will call upon you to have you essentially involved in their broadcast. Because of the times we find ourselves in, living in lockdown, a lot of programs now are working remotely. In fact, the large majority of them will be working remotely for the foreseeable future. So that's an opportunity that you have living in Northern Ireland to work on programs in Manchester and London and other major cities. So reach out to the Facebook groups that are available for jobs and put yourself out there as a runner. If you want to step up to a researcher, if you've been a runner already, there aren't a lot of studio shows at the moment, so why not say that you're the man or the woman for the job and step up to a junior researcher or a researcher with the skills that you've learnt from previous experience. Always know what's going on around you as well. You don't have to be working in a news and current affairs program to know what's going on around you. It's good if an executive producer says to you, did you hear about X, Y, and Z? Did you see this on Instagram? Always good to keep your hand in so that they know that you have your finger on the pulse. Make sure you always have targets. Targets are always a strong thing to have every year. I always set myself targets that I want to meet, and I've always been able to do it because they are something that I make happen. I try my best. I might fail miserably 3 or 4 times throughout the year, but I'll always do my best to make sure that I try to make them happen. I'm really proud of what I've achieved so far. I'm still learning, but regardless, I'm still very proud as to how far I've come in my journey. And I'm still listening to researchers, producers, assistant producers, executive producers, series producers on thoughts and ideas, and still picking up little tricks of the trade that I may not have necessarily known. A thing that we have to consider now in the life that we find ourselves in is scrolling too much on our devices. Don't base your life on scrolling on your device and seeing what everyone else is up to. Don't be plastering yourself on social media. Make things happen yourself, because then you're not setting yourself up for a fall. There's a lot of people out there who enjoy negativity and they'll do anything to put you down in something that you've done. Do work behind the scenes. Don't necessarily put all your goings on social media, and that way you can burrow away and plod along and make things happen. An example of making things happen was my podcast that I developed and produced during lockdown. That was a series that I didn't know how long it was going to last. I didn't know if it was going to work. I didn't know if it was going to be successful, and I found out 2 weeks ago that it went to number 10 in the entertainment news category on iTunes in the UK. So I'm delighted with that, but nonetheless I'm still thinking of new ideas, new creative things that I can be doing. So I hope you take from that what I've given and bring it on, put it on board with stuff that you're going to be working on in the future. But the crux of that is to believe in yourself and always make sure that you have a target that you want to meet. And don't be thinking that X, Y, and Z person is on the radio and I'm dying to be presented, I'm better than him or her, or they don't deserve to be on the radio. Leave them to it. If they want to present on the radio and put their lives on social media, so be it. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that make these programs across online and across podcasts, across television production, and again across radio production. Burrow away, work hard, and you can be whatever you want to be. It's a very old cliche to say that anything is achievable if you want it to be. It really is. I was struggling working in Northern Ireland to get a break, and as I said at the start of this, I knew it wasn't going to happen here, so I moved away. I did 3 years in London, then I did 3 years in Manchester. But a lot of companies are now moving to Belfast, and a lot of them are now starting to crew up with new commissions. So always be looking around, as I mentioned earlier, with Facebook groups and what's happening on Twitter and on other platforms as well. I wish you all the best for the future. We find ourselves in really uncertain times, so if there was ever a time to feel down and to feel that you weren't getting anywhere, it's now. But don't feel like that. Reach out to the people at Cinemagic, because they are absolutely magic. They really are. I did Cinemagic back in 2005. So I did Cinemagic in 2005 with Dermot O'Leary, and then I got to work on two programs with Dermot, and he remembered me, God help him. But I felt really proud that I was working on a program with Dermot O'Leary, one of the most sought after network television presenters in the UK, and I did a presenting masterclass workshop with him. So I was delighted, and it felt so good. And then I moved on to wanting to achieve something else, and something else on the back of that. So be prepared that if you want to work in television and radio and online, you need to be very thick-skinned in terms of no's, and in terms of not working out on certain shows when you think you're going to get a job or you deserve the job, and you probably rightly do. So I wish you all the best for 2021. Here's hoping to a better 6 or 7 months to come.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.